Today I want to tell you guys 10 things that you're going to experience if you marry a Colombian. Starting with number 1, meeting the family. Colombians are a very family-oriented culture. So if you marry her, know that you're going to be marrying her cousins, her moms, her grandparents, her aunts and uncles. Like, you're going to be invited to every single party, and every part of the extended family is going to be your family. It's not that intimidating though. The way that I see it is that if you come with good intentions, and of course, if you speak Spanish and you show that you're a nice, honest, caring person, Colombians are just gonna welcome you with open arms. Number 2 is the tardiness. I don't understand why Colombians or Latin people in general are so tardy, but it feels like we can never get to anything on time. I'm an American and I'm Asian. Punctuality for us is very important. Now, if we need to be somewhere at 10 o'clock, it's very often that at 9:57, she's still getting ready, she's still doing her makeup, and I'm like, yo, we have to go, let's order a taxi. And she's like, no, it's all good, it's all good. And then we're out the door at 10 o'clock. Frustrates me, but it is what it is. Number 3 is that she's very embarrassed if the house is disorganized. This is something in Colombian culture where it's just a bad look. Like, appearances are very, very important here. Physical appearance, like how you dress when you go out, but also taking care of the house. I think they have a saying here that a woman who doesn't have an organized house is not a woman at all, something like that. Don't shoot the messenger, but I have heard that in the past. And that's why I think Colombians are just very famous all around the world for being good wives, because they naturally like to take care of the home. And that leads me to number 4. They are super caring, affectionate, and loving people. Almost to the point sometimes where it feels a little clingy, but it's just a culture difference that I'm not used to. My wife always wants to know where I'm at. She's always texting me, telling me she loves me. She always wants hugs, kisses. And for me, I do my best to, find a compromise, even though it's very uncomfortable for me, but that's just something you're gonna get if you marry a Colombian. So this, combined with them taking care of the house, makes them very good hosts. Every time you have a guest over at your house, the first thing they're gonna do is like, okay, I'm gonna make sure the house is organized. Can I offer you anything? Would you like some water? Would you like some coffee? Almost to the point where it feels a little extreme, but that's because, number 5, the culture here in Colombia is a service culture. They're used to serving their loved ones, their elders, their parents, their grandparents, and it's a universal thing where the family will serve each other, and in a lot of ways too, they're still traditional where the women serve the men here. That's not very common anymore, that is going away, but if you were to ask her to, let's say, make you something to eat or make you some coffee, a lot of times she'll just be like, yeah, sure, not a problem. Whereas I know sometimes in the West, they'll kind of make a fuss about it. Number 6, this may be just a paisa thing, but they love to drink coffee and they want to drink coffee all the time. So my thing with coffee is that after trying coffee all around the world, I do believe Colombian coffee is some of the best. And that's because it is not as strong as other places and it has a lot more flavor. Especially because I live in the coffee region, it's just a part of the culture here is like, tomamos tinto, let's go drink some coffee. It can be 8 o'clock at night and they're still gonna want to go out and drink coffee. I can't do it because if I drink coffee at night, I can't go to sleep. But most Colombians, it's like in their blood. They can drink coffee until 10, 11 at night and then they'll sleep like babies. It's crazy. Number 7, this is also maybe just a paisa thing, but like arepas are their religion. I don't understand why Colombians love arepas so much. In my opinion, I think they're okay. It's just a worse version of a tortilla, in my opinion. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that, but I personally don't like it. Sometimes I'll eat it, sometimes it is good, but I'm Asian. I would much prefer like rice or noodles, but it is a part of their culture. So if you marry a Colombian, expect to be eating arepas all the time. Number 8, why do they have so many clothes? I don't understand. Maybe it's just a woman thing, right? But Latin women specifically have closets and closets of clothes, and they only use 20% of it. I don't understand why. They just love clothes, more clothes, more clothes. It's frustrating for me. I'm a minimalist, I'm a man. For me, I'll have underwear from like 4 years ago. And as long as it still works, I'm totally okay. But then my wife will get mad at me when I have holes in my socks. This is a very common one. I've laughed about it with my buddies because all my guy friends, we've had socks for years, and even though they have holes, it still works, but our women always get mad at us, and I think it's just because, Latin women like looking good. And that leads to number 9. Latin women will never leave the house looking like a mess. It is very important that they look their best when they leave. I think this is something that a lot of men like about Colombian women because it's just like, wow, they're beautiful, they're feminine, everything. But telling them that, hey, maybe could you go to the gym? I would like you to take care of yourself. yourself, right? That's not that big of a deal because Colombian women are so beautiful and there's so much competition everywhere that they don't mind going to the gym and looking good for their man. Number 10, they are very possessive and they are very jealous. I don't mean this as necessarily a bad thing because it's just a part of their culture, and unfortunately because infidelity is so common here, it's natural for the women to be very possessive. The men are possessive too, but in a different way, like territorial, but then the women are just like, where are you going? What are you doing? That kind of stuff, right? But I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing because if you have a Colombian woman that loves you, she is definitely ride or die. She will be there for you until the very end. If you have a business, she'll want to help you build that business instead of having her own business. I think you can't have one without the other, right? They're very passionate people, but that passion can be for good or can be for bad. And here is just a couple of bonus ones. So going back to that passion, right? It is very common that they have random bipolar moments. I don't understand what it is about Latin women, but at one moment they can be extremely fiery, and then the next moment, when you give them something to eat, they're relaxed and they're chill and they're like calm again, you know? Thankfully, my wife is pretty mellow. She doesn't really give me problems for a lot of things, but sometimes when she's on her period or she's feeling a kind of way, she'll just kind of act out emotionally. But I think it's just a part of dating Latin women. And number 12, the last bonus one, is that Colombian women are very proud. They're very proud to be Colombian. They are very proud of their culture, whether it's Paisa or from the coast or from Bogota or from anywhere in the country. They're also very proud of their family. I think it's a really amazing thing because a lot of times they can be headstrong, but they are really ride or die for their family. The only problem is if you ever do them wrong, they're gonna come down at you with the biggest fury you've ever seen. But if you treat them well, you take care of them, they are going to take care of you too. If you guys want to learn about dating a Colombian, I have all the information you need in my course. I have a complete course which talks about how to move to Colombia, but if you guys just want to buy the section for dating, that will be available too. It has 11 sections talking about where to meet women, how to approach handling the family, what values are important here, the single mom crisis, all these things, archetypes of women as well. I'll leave a link to buy the course in the description and the pinned comment. But if you guys are looking for a free travel guide to Medellín, I will leave a link to that down below. Subscribe to my newsletter so you can get that guide, but also I will send you a lot of really important information about living here in Colombia. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.